Good afternoon and good evening, good late night, whatever it is to you. My name is Jeremy Dysock, and I am a FICO certified Credilife coach with Credilife Financial Wellness Company. I'm also the founder of the free credit repair advice group on Facebook. And I wanted to take some time today during the business day to go live and talk to you all a little bit about business credit. Um, Business credit is something we don't talk about as much in the free credit repair advice group, but it's something that's very important. They're saying right now that basically 55% of all Americans own their own business. They're self employed or they have a side hustle of some kind. They've got their own businesses. So 55% of you out here, in internet land are dealing with business things on a day to day basis. Now, a lot of people have heard about business credit, a lot of things about business credit too. You may even have a business credit card in your business name. You may have gone and taken out like a Capital One business card where you give them your name, address, social, income, things like that, and the name of your business. And they issue you a card in the business name. But the question is that really business credit? Okay, is that really business credit? The answer is no, it really is not business credit because you're a personal guarantor on that card. You are actually the personal guarantee that if something happens and the business cannot pay that card, you are going to be responsible for those payments. So I wanted to talk to people today a little bit about business credit, what business credit is, and really how to develop business credit. And we've got something at Credilife we call the Business Platinum Program. And that will give you the opportunity to build credit in the business name. But I wanted to give you some business credit education here today while I had some time during the day to do so. So I'm going to open up a little bit of there we go. I'm going to open up a little bit of a slideshow for everyone. Hold on one second. I want to get to the right slide. And in the meantime, by the way, if you'd like to sign up for a consultation with me, you can do so by going to www.bookcoachjeremy.com, and you can pick a day, an evening, or even a weekend to do a credit consultation with me. It can be a business credit or a personal credit consultation, and there's no cost for this consultation. It's to find out a little bit about you, a little bit about your business, and put together that plan and steps and action items to get you in position to succeed. So I wanted to dive in though a little bit. I'm going to share a screen really quick that'll talk about the Business Platinum Program. But more than just the Business Platinum Program, this is going to also show you some of the steps you need when establishing business credit. The steps are pretty simple. The steps that are in the Business Platinum Program really are the steps that you need to take individually for yourself to build credit in your business name as well. So the first step when it comes to business credit, the first step is going to be to start with the end in mind. What are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to do some leasing? Are we trying to get equipment financing? Are we trying to get cash flow for the business? Maybe we're looking for investment property. Maybe we're looking for operating capital or something like that. You need to have a clear picture when you're beginning business credit of where you're trying to go with this and what you're trying to do. So you want to start when it comes to business credit with the end in mind. Next is making sure you've got a business foundation. Okay, there are all kinds of businesses, from someone selling lemonade, a kid selling lemonade on the side of the road, to large C corporations that are publicly traded and everything in between. But you've got to have a sound and a lendable business foundation before you'll be able to obtain financing in the business name. So that's the second thing to keep in mind. The third thing you need to have is reporting optimized, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But without the ability to optimize reporting, people aren't going to be able to pull credit on your business. And this is why, if you've got like a Capital One business card, you're the personal guarantor for that credit. The next step in business credit is to actually build the credit itself. And it's a one of those situations where, unlike personal credit, you need credit to get credit. when it comes to business credit. Business lenders are going to want to see that you already have access to money before giving you more money. The next step is actually accessing the financing itself. This is getting the money from the lenders. Next is increasing your exposure. As I said, you need to have money or have lending to get lending. And then lastly is having an exit plan. So when it comes to business credit, there are some building blocks, okay? Everything's built on a foundation. The foundation of business credit when you're getting started is going to be flexible spending business credit, such as revolving credit, universal cards, fuel cards, net terms, and leasing. Those are the first pieces of credit you're going to get, and those are going to make the foundation of your business credit profile. The next step, the next block is going to be operating capital. That's lines of credit, merchant advances, accounts receivable financing. You're not really going to be able to get those out of the gate. You need to build that first block foundation before you can move on to that second block. And then there's the third block, the top tier. That's investing, that's assets and acquisition, that's having property in the business name. And that's the high tier, the high end of the business credit. So it all starts with flexible spending business credit. Next, you build onto operating capital, and third, investing style credit. So as I said, there are steps with our business platinum program, or when you're working on business yourself, business credit. You need to start with the end in mind. That starts with goal setting. What's your goal? Are you looking to grow your business? Are you looking to obtain financing for operations? Are you looking to do some investment? Are you looking to bring on merchandise, capital, whatever you're looking to do? You have to set your goals in stone, write them down, have them laid out. And if you've got a bookkeeper or an accountant or a CFO, those are also people that you'll want to talk to. Next, once you've started with that end in mind, we've got our destination, you need to put together this plan. How are you going to get there? What's your 1 month plan, your 6 month plan, your 1 year plan, your 3 year, 5 year plan? You've got to lay these things out so you can reverse engineer the steps. The next question is, how are you leveraging your network? As a business owner, you may already have connections with vendors. You may have connections with banks. You may have a bank checking account in the business name. Are you taking advantage of all of the things that your vendors offer as far as possible financing terms? Are you taking advantage of everything your bank has to offer for small businesses? How are you leveraging your network? The next step, once you've got your goals figured out and basically your destination, your plan, it is going to be developing the business foundation, okay? You need to make your business entity. Are you going to be a sole proprietor? An LLC? Are you going to be an S Corp, a C Corp? You need to go ahead and establish your business entity and register with the state. Open your LLC, get all those things in place. Next, you want to always have a business phone and actually have that business phone listed in 411 directory. Now, most people these days are operating from one of these, a cell phone, right? How many of you out there put a number one in the comment section if this is you? How many operate your business from your cell phone? Well, the thing is, if you're operating from a cell phone and you go to apply for business credit, they will do a scan, a search, and find out that that's indeed a cellular number, and that is a strike against you for business credit. There are a lot of different opportunities out there for you to get a phone that registers as a business phone, that registers as a landline and registers in the 411 directory. There are some virtual options. There's a Zoom phone, there's Ring Central. There are a number of them out there, some as cheap as 15, 20 bucks a month, that'll actually forward that business number into your cell phone. Remember, if you're already operating from it, let's not try to reinvent the wheel, but they'll forward that business number into your cell phone. They'll list in the 411 directory, and they will serve as a portion of your business legitimacy, your business foundation. Next, you have to have a business address. How many of you that have a business or are looking to start a business are thinking of operating from your home? Well, when looking at obtaining business credit, the banks, the lenders, the SBA, they're going to do a search and they're going to find out that you're dealing with a residential address. So the easiest way to fix that, because that's considered risk in business lending, the easiest way to fix that is a post office box or a virtual office suite or a office box at a FedEx Kinko's or at a UPS store. You want to have a commercial address that's separate from your home address that'll help build a business foundation. And this is all to get business credit entirely in the EIN number, the employee ID number, entirely in the name of the business. Next, your EIN and licenses. You need to apply for your employee identification number. It's like a social security number, but it's the social security number of your business. It's a tax ID number. Maybe you're in an industry that requires licensing. Maybe you're a realtor or a loan officer. Maybe you're a contractor or some other industry that requires licensing. Well, part of your business foundation will be to make sure that you've got your tax ID, your federal and your state, if needed in your state, tax ID, and which is your EIN, employer identification number, and then any applicable licenses. You want to have those in place before pursuing credit, so you've got your business foundation. Next is business banking. Just about every bank out there has a free business checking account. This isn't something that has to cost you a lot of money, but you want to get banking in the business name. In some for US Bank, for example, they have a free one. It's called a DBA account, or doing business as account. It is a business account. They have a free version of it, and it allows you to open up banking in the business name. So checks can be made out to your business, or payments can be made to your business, and they can go into a business account. Now, in order to open that, of course, you want to have your EIN, your tax ID number, in place first. All right, so the third step in developing business credit is to optimize reporting. So as a consumer, you, me, all of us, we've got Equifax and Experian and TransUnion, these three credit bureaus that hold our credit scores, our personal credit scores. We've got three bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. You didn't ask them to open these files on you. They didn't ask you if they could. It's more like, congratulations, you're an adult. Here is your credit report. Now, with business, everything's different. It's all pay to play. And there are business credit bureaus. There are business slates on which to make your marks. Okay, there's Experian for business, Equifax for business, and then the big one you've probably heard of, Dun & Bradstreet. In addition, there's something called a Paydex score. A Paydex score is like a FICO score. If you've got a good FICO score, you can get good credit terms. Well, if you've got a good Paydex score, you can get good business credit terms. And then lastly, there is FICO for business as well. Now, these things, unlike Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, are pay to play. You actually have to pay to open up these accounts. You could right now, with your business, be utilizing net 30 term credit. You might have a Staples account that lets you order things and pay for it in 30 days, right? And they could currently be reporting to the credit, to the business credit bureaus. But the thing is, unless you have purchased your slates on which to make your marks, unless you have established those reporting structures, that information is going out into the ether and it's not benefiting you at all. And so it's important to establish, it's important to optimize that reporting. The next step, okay, we've got our foundation, we've optimized our reporting, we're got our business banking, we're an entity, we got our business phone number, we're raring to go. The next step is building the credit itself. And as I showed you in that pyramid, there are building blocks to it. There's net 30 vendors, Staples, or if you're a painter, Sherman-Williams Paints. There are a lot of companies out there that will let you order product and pay them in 30, 60, or 90 days. That's a net 30 vendor. Basically, you pay and it's due in 30 days. They report to credit. That's one of the first places to start. Next, there are gas, fleet, and automotive cards. So your fuel that you're using, if you're a truck driver, your fuel, if you are driving people to showings because you're a realtor, the gasoline that you're using in your card, you can use a business fleet card or a business petrol or fuel card, and that will report to credit It can be done in the business name and help build your credit. Next is business credit cards, and these are credit cards solely in the business name. A good rule of thumb when it comes to business credit, if you're giving your social security number to them, it's a good chance that it's going to be what's called a personal guarantee, or you will be a personal guarantor, meaning if the company goes bad, you're on the hook. The business credit cards you're looking to establish are credit cards entirely in the business name. And in the beginning, when you're starting, it's a $5,000, a $10,000, a $15,000 card in the business name. Now, the reason it's important to have these in the business name is number one, you're building business credit, but number two, it divorces the liability from you. You're not the personal guarantor. So if the business doesn't work out, if the business fails, if you have to torpedo it, or if it gets into trouble, that's not going to come back and reflect on your personal credit. Next is business auto leasing. You may need a truck for your work. You might be a realtor and you're showing people around and you want to drive them around in a nice car. Well, you can actually put the leasing of your vehicle, if it's used for work, in the business name. So not only is it a lot easier to write all those things off for taxes, the depreciation on the car as well as the mileage, but this will help build your business credit. The next step is to access funding. Now, this is real funding. Before that was credit cards, and loans. This is accessing funding. And there's a number of different types. You'll want to build up some unsecured financing. That's a line of credit, things that you could use to obtain inventory for your business, things you can use for marketing. You can use that to do your advertising and marketing, get the business, make the money, and pay off that line of credit. You may want to use this if you have employees and you have to pay your employee on Friday, but you're on a contract that doesn't pay you for 30 days. This allows you to make payroll until you get the big check at the end. So unsecured financing, a line of credit. A business term loan. This is a net 60 loan, doing 60 days, or a 1-year loan, or a 2-year loan, or a 5-year loan. These are larger loans, typically for equipment, for inventory, even for operating capital, for projects that you're bidding on, all kinds of different things, where you borrow a block sum of money and it's due back in a certain amount of time. But that's going to be one of the next funding tiers that you're working into. And then credit union loans. This is a very underutilized area in business credit. Credit unions have a lot of money to lend, and they like to lend to businesses because they're essentially partnering with you. They've got a lot to gain from this. Now, if you're looking at the Credilife Business Platinum program that we offer, where we build the credit in your name, this is one of the things that we're going to utilize to get you the credit you're looking for. And then top tier business credit cards. So we're not talking about that intro card that's got a 5,000 to 10,000 limit. We're talking about the Amex Platinums with the Sky Miles. We're talking about the cards with major rewards at Lowe's, at Home Depot, the contractor cards, the big boy cards. You can get top tier business credit cards so that you're able to get the maximum perks out of this. And again, it's building your business credit. The next step is actually to increase your exposure. With increasing your exposure is very important because they're going to check out your business before they decide to lend to you. So if you're working from a Gmail account, for example, or a Yahoo, or if you're as old as me, maybe even an AOL account, if you remember those. If you're working from a URL that's not your company URL, for example, we've got Credilife.com. If I was Jeremy at AOL.com, or hey, credits really neat at gmail.com, you'd be a little suspect of my company. But we've got our own URL. We're established. We've got that exposure. You need the same thing. And the lenders, the banks, the finance companies are looking at that for you. It's very easy to set that up. If you haven't got a company specific URL with a company specific email, that's something that you are going to want to make sure that you've got in place for the business. Also, you want to get into search engine optimization. So if they search for your company comes up near the top. And that may take some PPC, some pay-per-click advertising to get you there. Now, while it might sound expensive that you're paying $1 for every time someone clicks through to your website, that internet traffic is all going to help optimize you in the search engines and increase your overall exposure. And then, if you're in real estate, for example, there's Zillow, there's Realtor.com, paid platforms like that. There's Angie's List, there's the Better Business Bureau. There are a lot of things that you can do to increase your business exposure, to legitimize yourself so that when you're going in for the business credit financing, that they are able to, establish that, yes, this is a legitimate business. This is somebody to be reckoned with, and this is someone we may want to invest in lending to. And then holding events. Little events, big events, send out press releases, send out, partnerships, partner up in parades and things like that. All of these gain exposure for your company. And this is something you can use business credit to help finance. You can finance a nice website. You can finance with business credit, search engine optimization and pay-per-click advertising. You can finance a CRM or a Zillow or being on Angie's List or Your Better Business. You can finance events and co-branded events with local organizations and things like that. The next thing when it comes to business credit, which a lot of people don't think about, is an exit plan, because eventually you're going to want to exit the business. You'll want to retire. Maybe you'll want to sell the business. Maybe you'll want to pass it on to the kids. One of the things to have in place, even when you're starting, to develop business credit, is figuring what is your exit plan. Are you going to retire? Are you building this thing up to sell it? Are you looking to take it public and sell out that way? Are you looking to pass it on to the kids? You want to make sure that you've laid out what is your exit plan. And then also a realistic look at what your business is worth. Some businesses are just the relationships and the leads. Some's the intellectual property. Sometimes there is real estate. Sometimes there's equipment. What is your business worth? And then you want to be planning now, even when you're first starting that arc, when you're starting the business, you want to look ahead for how you exit this and retirement. And then lastly, as I said, creating a legacy, having this business live on past, past you. Now, if you've got a small business, if you're interested in building a business, starting a business, or if you've got a business and you're just looking to build up business credit, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead, and if you look on the bottom of the video window here, you can see you can book a consultation by going to www.bookcoachjeremy.com, bookcoachjeremy.com, and you're going to schedule a business consultation. Now, during that consult, we're going to talk about your business. We'll talk about your plan. We'll talk about those 7 steps we talked about. But what I'm going to offer anyone who comes in from my link through this video is something that we normally charge for. Credilife has a business scan that we charge $495 for. Okay, and what it does is it scans where your business is at now with all this, all the areas out there. It's got some really high-tech intelligence. It scrubs the web, looks for licensure, looks for Dun & Bradstreet, looks for everything, and it'll even show you what you may qualify for right now. That's a $495 scan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give away 10 of these. I'm going to offer up 10. They're only available through me, Coach Jeremy. I'm going to give away 10 of these to the first 10 people who go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com and book a business credit consultation with me. I'm going to give you the $495 scan. Now, if it sounds like something that's good and you want to use the Business Platinum program, we can talk about the different programs and costs and things then. But at the very least, you're going to find out where you stand right now with your business, what you may already qualify for in financing, and really, what steps need to be taken to get you there. So I'm offering this to 10 people and 10 people only. Once it's gone, it's gone. Number 11, I'm sorry you were too late. It's going to be $495 if you want to do it, which is still, by the way, extremely cheap for that type of consultation. But I'm going to do 10 complimentary consultations with scans to the first 10 people who book at www.bookcoachjeremy.com. All right, I'm going to stop the screen share now. There we go. And we're back to it. Okay, so when it comes to business, remember the idea behind business credit is we want to divorce liability between you and the business. The business stands on its own, you stand on its own. So if something happens to you, the business can succeed. If something happens to the business, it's not going to harm your personal credit. We want to develop that business credit in a structured way, and there is a set path to it. There is a set plan to developing business credit. And again, the first 10 of you watching this who schedule a business consultation with me, 10 of you only. This isn't a teaser offer. Oh, I'll give it to number 11. Because no, I won't. I'll charge number 11 and onward. It's a $495 scan. I've got the ability to give 10 of these away today to the first 10 people who go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com and book a business credit consultation. We'll talk about your business. We'll go through the scan. We'll talk about the results, and I'll give you right then. It's not you're going to have to pay for the results. I will tell you what do you qualify for right now based on the information. How is your business currently established? What steps do you need to take to build up all those 7 steps specific to your business, and really be able to advise you from there. All right. Just wanted to take a good, this is perfect. I mean, what, about 25 minutes, 28 minutes in. Wanted to take this time today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on a replay, again, go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com. You can book a personal credit consultation or a business credit consultation. And for the first 10 business credit people, I'm going to do the business credit scan for you free of charge. All right, I'll be around all day in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook as I'm coach of the day. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm FICO certified credit coach with Credilife, Jeremy Dysock. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.